Hey guys, what is up? Swim here, and I wanted to make it a pretty quick guide. This is not meant to be comprehensive, but I wanted to talk about something that not a lot of other people are talking about right now, which is my top 5 first picks in a vacuum. So what this means is if you are in pack number 1 at the very start of the game, and you see something that's not like a lockable pack, these are the heroes I would pick in order. And it follows Tiny at number 1, Tusk at number 2, then Antimage at number 3, and Chantris at number 4, and finally Bloodseeker at number 5 would be my top 5 picks. As it is right now, these are definitely prone to change. Maybe patches come out. I could see something like Batrider or Drow getting a lot more popularity as like patches come out. They're pretty close. But right now, this is kind of how I would rank these. Now, it might seem like it doesn't really matter very much, but picking the correct hero out of these in the first pack in a vacuum will ultimately have a large chance to decide the outcome of the rest of the game, right? For example, if you pick something like Tiny in the first pack, then maybe in the second pack you see more warriors and you're like, wow, you know, let's get some warriors going on, and you know, bada boom, you're in warriors, right? Or something like that. So it does tend to lead to a big change, like its snowball effect throughout the course of the game, what you choose in the first pack. I don't want to take a minute to explain why these are as such. So Tiny and Tusk are the first and the second because warriors are great early. Getting a warrior set online early is a great way to just develop an early game. Tiny takes a bit of priority over Tusk just because Tiny is simply a better hero. He has what I would consider to be effectively a slightly worse tag. Beast is kind of easier to tag up, but Primordial is great early on, but he's got a much better ability. Toss with a stun is just great. He pairs really well with Gloves of Attack or Gloves of Haste, the attack speed item, which does really well on Tiny and is also just one of the best items. Gloves of Haste is maybe my go-to item choice. That's a different guide though. Item choices. That's not this guide. Anyway, Tusk first, or Tusk second after Tiny, and just because warriors are very valuable early. Then we've got Antimage, who is a pretty good unit. You're usually not going to get an elusive setup early, but getting a 2-star Antimage can just like plop into any early build very well. His mana drain ability is super good early. It's kind of only countered if he ends up going on someone with a passive, but there's no like early hero that's really passive based that he would go on. It's just other Antimages and Drow Rangers. And of course, if Antimage hits Antimage, it's a wash, right? But if you latch on to a unit with an active ability, you are basically just like winning that exchange, because you're not only disabling their ability, but you're doing extra damage for free, which is pretty insane. Plus, he even shuts down demons with his Demon Hunter, which you don't really need to pair to be useful. He kind of almost has a demon tag by himself, right? Just because he gives you the inherent value of having a demon tag if your opponent has a demon tag. And these are pretty good tags. You just get good extra free value off that 50% pure damage. Another reason I want to add why I chose these is because warriors and elusives are some of the more powerful kind of late game comps right now. Elusive isn't very popular right now, but it is better than people tend to think. It does fairly well in games. Anyway, at number 4 we have Chantris. She is a weak hero on her own, but she kind of can work in both elves and or elusives and warriors a little bit, because she pairs with beasts and druids, which are tangential to both of those. But druids in general are just really good early. If you get like a 2-star Enchantress and you pair it with like a 2-star druid or even a 1-star other druid, you're gonna have a very good early game. Druids are not really good late game, but pairing them up early is fantastic. Not too much more to say about this one. If they change it so that her wisps persist after she dies, which is arguably a bug right now, she will be a lot better still. And then finally, we have Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker is a strong standalone unit whose position is only a little low on this list just because I don't consider Assassin to be one of the literally top 3 comps in the game. They're fairly decent. I would say Assassins are competitive, but they're not like literally the best comp. However, he's a good standalone unit. If you get him to level 2, he does extremely well, despite having what I would consider to be fairly weak tags early. Anyway, that's it. Those are kind of my top 5 picks. Again, in a vacuum, these are what you would take in the first pack in the game if you see like nothing lockable in that order for me right now. Anyway, that's it, and I'll see you guys next time.